Hey guys, and welcome to my channel Travel Treasure. Today we will see downtown Manhattan, we will see Courthouse, and finally we will see Brooklyn Bridge. We won't go to most places where we've been to in downtown before, but we might cross paths with some of them. When you see these metal plates on the ground, that means that there is a pipe that broke, there is cable that broke, and in order to repair that, they have to dig the asphalt, and then since work is not finished, they put such metal plates. Come join today's stream. We will begin our journey in New York shortly. Hello Anton, good to see you. If we went there, we would go to the Bull and New York Stock Exchange, but we won't. Stock Exchange is located on Wall Street. We already went there not so long ago, so we will go the opposite direction now. This is Freedom Tower with observation deck at the very top of it. It is a little crowded now because it's lunchtime, and there are many offices in this area, so you can see people who go to have lunch outside. What's here? Have you or your family experienced trauma? Many places that sell weed in the city, unfortunately. I remember when I was growing it was only possible in Amsterdam, but now it's all over the place. Sad, but true. This building straight ahead is the one I was speaking about to some of you. This is the one. We will come closer to it. We will be passing by the courthouse. Today, tomorrow, they're going to arrest the President of the United States. So they are preparing protection around courthouse. So let's see what it looks like now, if I find it, because I know the main buildings of court, but not, I don't think it's criminal. Maybe it is criminal court, but the building that I usually pass, the ones that I usually seen in movies, this is not the same courthouse as I saw in the news today, but let's have a look. Maybe we will be able to find it. Hello, toilet brush. Anton, I'm sure you know this is the building which I was speaking about, the white building. We'll come close to it. We're very, very close now already, but we'll have a better look at it from a different angle. And if there will be connection, if weather will allow me to do that, next stream will be probably from a totally different place, from outside of New York, from outside of the country. There's a lot of construction in downtown Manhattan. Buildings are very close to each other, as if they're, well, some are touching each other and others are squeezed in, like this, for example. New York does look sunny, but it is deceptive because it's still very, very cold, really cold. It's 0 degrees Celsius. March is the coldest month in New York. When trees are blooming, you want to feel spring, but it's not there yet. Do you think there will be more interesting observation areas than now? Yes, there will be. They're adding 2 new observation decks. One on Times Square, the other one inside Chrysler Building. This is Pace University, State University, or maybe City University, probably State. Falcon flying. And I hear it's pretty simple to, well, easier than to most, it's easier to get here than to most other universities in the city. This is the building where Mayor Adam Adams works. Not a lot of people, actually no one is happy with him in the city, with this, like, regardless of who you follow, the white, the red, the blue, the red or the blue, no one is happy with him, no one. This is entrance to Brooklyn Bridge, but we will not go there now. We are going to courthouses. Look at the reflection. I love reflections, if you couldn't tell by now. Hello, Maria. Buona tarde. No, the sun is, well, I'm not in the sun. There are so many skyscrapers in downtown Manhattan that all the sun is covered by them. So this is the building that was prototype to 7 famous buildings in Moscow. Stalin sent architects here to see American architecture, and then he said, I want something similar in Moscow during Soviet times. And I just discovered it yesterday that this is a prototype to one of the most famous buildings, to 7 most famous buildings in Russia. Hello, Victor! Прототип московских высоток. Oh, the sun is nice. This is Brooklyn Bridge, but we will not go there immediately. We'll go there after we see courthouses, okay? First courthouses, then Brooklyn Bridge. This is the park, nice park with squirrels. There are not many parks without squirrels in New York. And this park is not an exception. There are many squirrels jumping in park off that is right next to City Hall, where Mayor of New York City works. He is mayor for 5 boroughs: Manhattan, Brooklyn, Bronx, Staten Island, and Queens. Oh yeah. Everything is blooming, but again, that's deceptive. I don't know how things bloom in such cold weather. I'm wearing clothes warmer than I did during winter, like real winter. Today, by the way, March 20th, is the first official day of spring in New York. So this is the building. This is the one. On top of this building there is a statue which represents 5 boroughs of New York, the ones that I just mentioned. Courthouses are one of my favorite buildings in New York, because they look very similar to buildings in Europe. Speaking of Europe, I booked my ticket to Europe last night. So happy. Victor, как дела? How are you doing? Good, bad, so-so. Comme ci, comme ça. Nice building. Very nice building here in front as well. That's also a municipal building. All buildings that surround us belong to the state or to the city. And their architecture here in downtown is different than in the rest of Manhattan. And look who is here, Ricky Tiki Tak. Good morning, Rick. You probably just woke up, didn't you? One more time. On this building it's written Manhattan, New Amsterdam, New York. Well, New York used to be called New Amsterdam. That's why you see a lot of signs going back in time. And yesterday, if you saw my video from yesterday, I think it was in the shorts. Well, one island that is captured in that shorts video is called Ellis Island. In the Ellis Island, that's the island which is not exactly now island now. I would say it's a peninsula which connects New Jersey to Ellis Island, because there is a bridge that goes there now. And until 1950 something, immigrants arrived to this island, those who wanted to live in New York or in America in general. So they had to pass medical checks and bring some documents, and only then they were allowed to America or turned back. So these are the two buildings of courthouses, but this is not for criminal justice, I think, not the one that will be famous tomorrow when they want to arrest President of the United States. Let's try to find that other building. I think it's next to it, maybe, like one of these buildings. We will recognize it by the amount of press, media next to it. Hi, Max. Hola, RJ from Colorado. I think that there were so many buildings which were captured. There were so many movies where these two buildings were captured, right? Courthouses. Beautiful buildings. The street which we passed, it was so some streets have double names, or part of the street, rather part of one street can have an extra name. So the street that we passed had a name, carries a name of BLM, Black Lives Matter. Beautiful buildings, reminiscent of Washington DC. I don't know the word reminiscent, but they do look similar to Washington DC. Yes, 100%. Good observation, Anton. This is the building where I took my test to become an American citizen. Well, American, yeah, citizen, I guess. Then the building behind the courthouse is where I got my citizenship. So you see some channels. So the event is happening tomorrow, but you already see many cars being prepared for this event. Let's come closer. I mean, let's cross. So this is the NBC car. So cold. With the wind has been really cruel the past few days in New York. Really cruel, like, ugh, so chilly. Rick, Nightbot is becoming your more favorite than me. I'm jealous. So, oh, funny. They will be filming Law and Order here on Wednesday. See? Oh gosh. There's a crazy person. Crazy. Right next to police. Welcome to New York. And then he'll go to subway. So these are cars that belong to New York press. And you can see this by their license plate. Let me show you. And sometimes they're allowed to park where other cars can't. So you see NYP on the license plate. That's for New York press. Guys, it's okay. We'll have free time about 30 minutes. I'm enjoying you walking. Okay. Wow, English. Look at your English. Good job. Beautiful day. Hello, Mark. Yes, it is it does seem like a beautiful day, but in fact it's very, very cold still. But we are expecting temperature to go up, right, Rick? Like you like it? God, this guy is crazy. And this is all happening next to police. Oh God. Some people are friends with crazy people. Let me.
Hey, what's up? Let me get your phone number. Let me call you. Yeah, you want me to talk to you?
No.
Do you want me to talk to you?
I don't speak English.
Huh?
No English.
English, what you speak, y'all?
Русский.
Whiskey? No bull. Check this out. Who's that, y'all? Okay, yo, man, check it out, y'all. It's time to set y'all up. Yo, what how you doing, y'all?
Oh my God. Hi, Frank. I'm glad that you managed it to live stream. Why the heck do they allow these freaks here? Why the heck? Seriously. You better not be writing tomorrow that I go no bail money. Why? You put all the bail into what I did last time? Just kidding. Okay, so cars there are becoming more and more cars, media as we go straight. So let's go there, and then we will turn to Brooklyn Bridge. There goes this freak. Why is New York allowing this? Tell me, why? How can I congratulate you? Your YouTube channel is over 6 years old. Not this one. This one is just about a year old, and thanks to all of you, now I have almost 1,000 followers, and in 150 followers there will be 1,000 followers. I'm so happy. I think it will happen. There is a chance it will happen before March. So Frank, you were right. Maybe not before March, but definitely by mid-April, I'd say. So fingers crossed. Texas, hello. Tomorrow they are filming Law and Order, but today, not tomorrow they're filming Law and Order. They are filming Law and Order on Wednesday. Tomorrow they're going to arrest the President of the United States, and it's going to happen here. Such a joke. Tomorrow they're filming Law and Order, but today she is filming Crime and Disobedience, right? Why is there such a huge line? What is the line to? And then, so this is City Clerk office, and then there are some flowers that are there. Let's have a look. We're here to check. I hope there are no cars. Don't ever cross the way I am. What happened? Oh, these are homeless people, I think. Oh, this is actually for good reason. They married here. Or they are getting married, I guess. And this is the court where the arrest tomorrow will be happening, or as if happening. Let's have a look. I can only imagine what will be here tomorrow. For those of you who don't know, they are told to be arresting Mr. Donald tomorrow, Trump. Yeah, right. And this is going to happen here. Look how many media workers are here. CNN, F News. Then what else? Fox News, Telemundo, AP, ABC. 1055 News, WLNY. X11, many channels. So now we're all famous. There would be massive protests if they try that. Well, protests started yesterday.
Yo, miss, what is wrong with you, yo? What's up? How you doing? What's wrong? You alright?
Я не хочу говорить с вами. What the heck is his problem? And why the heck are police not doing anything? ACDC, what is that? And in English there is a word comport. I think it will be the same as in Russian actually. There would be massive protest. I think that. I doubt it will happen. But honestly, it's interesting. Because the worse, the better, always. This is the building, which was the prototype to a building in Russia. There are many reporters here, journalists here as well. And there are police. And police are not doing anything with this crazy man. That by itself is crazy. So there are journalists. Let's see what's here. I'm very rarely in this neighborhood. This neighborhood is right next to Chinatown. Let's go to Chinatown, and from there we will go to Brooklyn Bridge. Actually, let's see Brooklyn Bridge from Manhattan Bridge. How do you like that idea? I think I'm a genius in ideas today, at this particular moment. All these cars, they can never park here on different days. The only reason why they are here is for event which is happening here tomorrow. Everyone looking for the best spot to see Don. Well, no. he won't be in cuffs, and if he will be, as some people rightly wrote, then he will definitely become he will take what was stolen. The criminal has to commit a crime before the law will take a glance at it. You're right. Cool route. I'm ready. Nice.
When they get it, we have to know. I want to get some kind of...
New York County Family Court. There are many courts around this area. I want to see what's inside this car, and then we will go to Manhattan Bridge through Chinatown.
That's IP too.
Oh.
Walk is gonna ask for IFB. Wow.
That's also medium. And we are continuing. Not far from here there is a correctional center where they place criminals before decision on where they go next, whether they go to jail or elsewhere is taken. Some houses, I started watching a lot of interesting things about houses and like different buildings, different things that are happening and which I can see in New York. I will be sharing them with you as we walk. There are so many interesting things I did not know. For example, you see this house, well, not that specific house, but I will show you a house in Midtown Manhattan. There are so many skyscrapers around this house, and a house like this, small and weird, is just left there. Well, reason being is that there are rent-stabilized apartments where if people leave, they cannot be moved out, and rent stays approximately the same throughout their life or lifetime, like as long as they live in this house. So one developer, he bought the building and he had to build a building on top of it, like not touching that building, because one person who lived in this building, despite the amount of money that she was offered, which at that time was $800,000. Now it equals probably like $8 million. She didn't want to move out as long as her if she was not offered the same conditions, meaning same location, same like conditions within the apartment as the apartment in which she lived. And even though she already died, so she was the only tenant who didn't want to move out. That's why sometimes you see like buildings small and like falling apart, and above them, like stepping on those buildings, there are new skyscrapers. Well, that's for this reason. There is no such law now. Well, it has been adjusted. There are different weird laws in New York. For example, there is in 80s there was law. Well, let me finish the story with the lady. So what happened? After she died, the developer who bought the area or bought the building, or air rights, if you guys don't know what air rights are, I'll tell you. But he said, okay, so she moved out, the building is vacant, but I will just leave that building. So he left that old building, and it's really funny, like other times. So, okay, law of 1980s. Yes, I'm on lunch break, Frank. Tomorrow gonna be good. Oh yes, whatever happens will be good, because I really believe that the good always kills the bad. So everything will be good tomorrow. So law from 1980, so maybe even before that, there was a law. So Jewish developers, so most developers are Jewish and they're very smart. Let's see what's happening here first. IPG will be filmed. Oh, was filmed here already. Okay, already happened on the 15th. So there was a law where Jewish people, Jewish developers gave, so there could be a lease that they could, so they were building buildings, right? Then buildings were apartments there started to be purchased by people, and after that, oh, this asshole was smoking weed. Horrible. So they decided to make a lease, which means they had a 99-year lease out of which no one can get out because they are like so protected, and no matter how good a lawyer is, he cannot get you out of that lease or the building out of that lease. So once all the apartments were sold in that building, whether to the building or to tenant or to like people who purchased them, the lower floors remained under developer, which means that developer had a 99-year lease and he could rent out like ground floors to shops, to restaurants and so on. So from these tenants he could get as much money as he wanted, so the rent could change, but at the same time money that under this 99-year lease developer was paying to the building, which at that point he didn't own anymore, was the same as many years ago, so in 1950 for example. So imagine now when the price for like these floors in one building back then was $100,000 per year, let's say. Now the same equals many times more, so several $million, but the developer is still paying same as almost like 100 years ago. Crazy. Hello Roberto, hello. Let me go back to your messages, see if I missed anything before we go to Manhattan Bridge. And we are in Chinatown. Fire department. Yes, Anton, that was fire department. That man might be crazy, but he is not breaking any laws. Well, he's if I look at him, if I start talking to him, then he will break law, but then it will be too late. It's a very pretty day today. It's very cold, but yes, pretty. So this is, you can tell, is Chinatown. Canal Street is the main street in Chinatown, and that's where we are. Canal crossing Center Street. I do hope that spring will eventually visit New York, because now today is the first day of spring officially, but it doesn't feel like spring at all. Sun and like what you see blooming is very, very deceptive. So this lady is offering watches, jewelry, which is not jewelry. And as you see, there are many Asians in this area because we're in Chinatown. I want to think it's safe here with my phone on the stick and nothing will happen to it. And if you guys don't react to the stories that I share with you, I take it as if you are not interested in them. So I'll be just continuing to show New York and not bother you with all that stuff. Pizza Town. Chinatown is not Pizza Town. You mean Little Italy within the Chinatown. That is Pizza Town. Good, keep it cold. No, Rick. Time for it to be super hot and humid. Like you and Sandman like it. Just like both of you like it. Speaking of bridges, there is a bridge which is going between New York and New Jersey. So before you could only go on one side, and it was pretty scary and dangerous. Because pedestrians had to share it with bikers and like a lot of other moving stuff. Now they opened it, or they are opening it on the other side. Sergey, if you are watching it, or if you will be watching it, especially for you, Sergey is a huge fan of SeaWorld. Well, it's all here. I love hot weather. Come on, guys. New York doesn't have that many hot days. Well, between September and April, so let us warm up. I love when it's hot. It's actually, yeah. And I think that I'm losing weight when it's hot, so let it be hot, please. Ricky, urgently need to move to Canada or Russia, right? Everyone who wants the cold, move to Canada or Russia. Ooh, so much seafood. Oh, and these are alive. Oh not. I feel sorry for them, but they're good. Oh, speaking of Amazon workers, I keep getting messages that packages. So in Brooklyn, there is a place where in Brooklyn packages are stolen a lot, and well, someone I know lives in Brooklyn, and the messages that I see are there's like a room special storage for packages that are delivered. So people pretend to be Amazon workers. They come with a huge bag and they steal packages. So they just open this room, they take all the packages, and then they go away with this bag. They're captured on camera, but then police cannot do anything about them. Wait 1 second. Durian. Do you eat in Chinese? Never. No, I never eat in Chinese. I don't like Asian food. Only Japanese, only sushi. So no. It's over 70. It's hot to me. Well, I love when it's hot. I love when it's 100. I just went to steam yoga, to hot yoga. I hope Sergey saw this yummy. I do too. I hate Chinese kitchen. I hate Chinese cuisine. Hate it. Like, I hate it. Like, I don't even dislike it. I hate it. No, I don't like it. So you see that they sell fruit outside. Fruit is good price, but I probably, before I bought stuff here, but not recently. They're breaking coconuts. Do you like Chinese cuisine, Victor? The only Asian cuisine that I like is, as I said, sushi. Also, I like, well, it's not exactly Asian, it's Hawaiian, poke. But since I have been eating unhealthy recently, so sushi was my #1 preference over poke. So many sounds in New York. And Asians, they are still wearing masks, most of them. So these ladies are offering bags, purses, wallets and stuff. We can go there, but then we will have to go back on the next block. Let's do it. So if you guys remember the video which I took of George Clooney and Brad Pitt, was it? So they were filming here in this area. I love vegetable and fruit. Me too. But that's eating healthy, but I have been eating like a pig recently. And I think I have become one as a result of it. Hot weather, we clearly cannot date. Yes! Finally you understood that I'm a bad person. Rice and what? Sorry, 1 second. Let me go back to... Oh, there we go. Chipurashka. From Chinese food, I like rice. I hate Chinese kitchen. Why? Maybe you cannot eat camel. Well, I think it doesn't taste good. I don't think it looks good, so I'm not getting the aesthetic pleasure. I'm not getting the taste pleasure. I'm not getting any good stuff out of Chinese food. I hate the taste, honestly. Where are we? I really like in China, it does feel like it. And when it's sunny, it's nice. But it stinks. It stinks. It's like the feet get stuck because of it being sticky. Sticks. Did you have bad experience with Chinese food? I don't like Chinese food. I just don't. I think it's dry and not tasty. Like spices that they use. I just don't like it. There are different people liking different things. I don't like Chinese food. That's all. It doesn't mean that it's bad. It's just me. Rick, when to wait for going to wait for you in Russia, but we don't come before November. It won't be. Yes, come after November. It will be super cold. So cold you will understand that you don't like the cold anymore. Ricky Tiki Tack. Rick, look, I found your Spider-Man. Is that the one?
Where are those shirts?
Okay, let's go left from here. I hope you enjoyed that part. And now we will go to Manhattan Bridge, from where we will see Brooklyn Bridge. Natalia, do you know what Matryoshka dolls are? Of course we do. They are not Russian though many people think that they are. And in Russia, even Russians think that. And in Russia they are really popular, but I know that they are from, I think, Japan, if I'm not mistaken. Right, Frank? Not even beef and broccoli. I hate broccoli. Ugh. As for beef, a pig cannot eat beef. I'm just kidding. It's so calm here. How is the weather outside? Windy and cold, Roberto. I don't like this weather. It's been so windy so long. How can you eat something like this? I mean, it's probably Peking duck, which is supposed to be good, but I don't know. I don't know. Not my cup of tea, as the Brits would say. Now let's go this way. Cafe Hong Kong. Hong Kong Cafe. This going in my notes. Okay, I wanted your opinion on the dolls. So my mother called them. They're great. I think that it's a great idea. I like it. I mean, when you think about Russian souvenirs, you would think about Matryoshka. It's pretty cool. And they sell them a lot in Mother Russia. Trust in God, Baptist Church. This is a building of a church on the left. Peking duck is very fatty dish, is it? Well, that's my type of dish. Fatty for fatty. Do you remember episode from movies Rush Hour where Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan eating? I didn't see Rush Hour. I didn't watch. But I want to see Jackie Chan. See, almost all Asians still wearing masks. I don't know why they don't want to breathe. I have not ever been here, but shall we go? I'm afraid to lose connection. We won't go. Thank you for talking to myself, Natalia. Anton, she hates ducks. Why do I hate ducks? I don't hate ducks. I don't like turkey, but I don't hate duck. Duck is better than turkey. Duck tastes better. I don't know what this is, but they are probably digging for gold there. I don't think in my lifetime I will ever go to China. Maybe to Hong Kong. Hong Kong only. No, actually, there are many places interesting in China, but I think I've seen so much of China in New York that I've had enough. Alright, so we are approaching Manhattan Bridge. The best view to Brooklyn Bridge on the level of Brooklyn Bridge is from Manhattan Bridge. And there are some holes in Manhattan Bridge through which we can see the neighbor bridge really well. You just wanted to watch a comedy, Rush Hour, but this comedy is not for everyone. I think I might have seen it, but I don't remember that Jackie Chan was in it. So I guess not, I didn't see it. Me neither. You neither what? You should go to Japan. Oh, I do want to go to Japan. I do. Oh crap, we have to go back a little in order to get to that bridge. So this is the entrance for cars on that bridge, and to pedestrians we have to go right a little. Rick, what's your favorite dish, Rick? Answer to, as Sandman would say, Commissar Anton. Okay, never cross like me. Never. Okay? Never on the red. If you want to know how to cross in New York, don't see me and don't do it. Do not repeat. You're eating frogs, but you don't like the duck. No, I like ducks, but not made in Peking way or whatever it's called. I like duck. I like frogs. Frogs taste like chicken. Sushi. Sushi's your favorite? Well, now you're my favorite, Rick. A lot of sushi. There is no such thing as a lot of sushi. No such thing. Sushi is never enough. Alright, so that's the entrance for pedestrians and bikers to Manhattan Bridge. Everyone walks on Brooklyn Bridge, but we will be exceptional. We'll walk on Manhattan Bridge and check out Brooklyn Bridge from it. Maybe, just maybe. We will, depending on how long that bridge is and how long it will take us to get to the other side. Maybe I'll show you Brooklyn Bridge from close as well. Be careful crossing the street. I only do it when I'm very 100% alert and attentive and see that there is nothing, no coming cars. So, thank you, Roberto, but I am on top of it. It's a very long walk. Well, what is long for me? If I walk 20 kilometers a day, that's nothing. Just depends on how much time it will take. Wow, that's like a whole apartment for this homeless person. James Bond is here. Bond. James Bond. How long is that bridge? It shouldn't be more than 2 kilometers, right? Like 1.2 miles. Or is it? Yes, Roberto. I walk a lot. Frogs. Yes, frogs. I had a few opportunities to eat frogs, Jim Bond. How much do you walk, Mr. Roberto, at nights from the Bronx? Oh, and this is the bridge where trains go, so it might be loud at times. Need earplugs for Manhattan Bridge. That's exactly what I just said, but I hope me having a microphone and some noises being shut down by it, I hope it will help. I just hope. Okay, I've gotta go. Enjoy your walk, Natal, and everyone have a great day. You too, Frank the Tank. Have a beautiful day. A beautiful cold day. I walk only 10 miles. That's perfect. That's a lot, Frank the Tank. Good job doing that. Nat almost came to my job walking to the Brooklyn Bridge. Really? Where's your job? Who do you work for? Maybe we won't make it all the way to the end of it today. We'll see. Can someone check distance? How long is the duration of that bridge? How long that bridge is? I don't expect it to be more than a mile. I hope. That way I'll be able to show you Brooklyn Bridge from closer. I am here, but I can't try it yet. My hands are full. Totally understand, Anton. What never? Never say never, Rick. there goes the train. And the bridge is shaking. Nice view. That's a beautiful view, right? You can take it on picture and use it as your background. I'm sometimes surprised when I look at people's Instagrams and they're like, oh, you can use like, they take a picture where you're like, what's here? Like, is it interesting? Like, that's like piece of crap, sorry. I just have to be honest with you. And they're like, oh, you can save this picture for your background. I'm like, is that a joke or you're actually serious? Oh, that's really short. No, it cannot be 450 meters. Looks like it's much longer. Are you sure, Toilet Brush? You can see the World Trade Center from here. Yes, you can. It's right there. Doo-doo. Yeah, right, Roberto. I think it's more than 450 meters because maybe to the middle it's 450. I don't think the whole bridge is that short. I wish there was like a marker with information. Oh, this is a nice view too. And people made some holes in the fence so that you can enjoy the view. Drying their clothes. What is a span? What's a span? It's funny how people are drying their clothes in front of skyscrapers, right? Funny, funny. Oh, come on, there are never trees in New York. What the heck? On one of the buildings here it says IRA. So IRA, it's a Russian girl's name, Ira, but in the English language it's Ira, and it's a man's name. Funny, huh? Cultural differences. Roberto, what do you think about this view? Got view or good view, Rick? Roberto, what do you think about this view? It doesn't seem that this bridge is that too long. Oh, there's a playground for school or something. Of this bridge is that it's shaking and that trains are riding, but rather than this, oh, not another train. Come on, there are never trains in New York, only when I go this bridge, right? Another pole and another beautiful view. There is Chinatown, and you can already start looking at Brooklyn Bridge. I'm sure there will be more holes as we continue on this bridge, and we'll see Brooklyn Bridge in a better way. The subway runs so often that there is Not a single minute of silence. Yeah, as if it's like also deceptive, as if they run all the time in New York. Sometimes you have to wait for 20 minutes in rush hour for the train. But law which works 100% is Murphy's Law, so of course there will be trains here non-stop now. 4 different trains pass by the bridge. Hello, Ruben. I know that the queue train definitely goes there. Maybe B train as well. Which other ones? Or maybe the same trains, opposite direction. Ruben. All trains run on the Manhattan Bridge. It so seems, but no. You're making history today with this live stream, Natalia. Why is that, Roberto? Well, each of us, each person makes history every day with things that they do, just smaller or bigger. Q, N, D, and I think B. B definitely, Q definitely. Because I always take these trains and I pass by this bridge. Q goes closer to us. B goes on the opposite tracks, behind cars. So let's see where we can sneak peek at Brooklyn Bridge, where there is a hole in that fence. Brooklyn Bridge has the best walkways. They made actually something really good on Brooklyn Bridge now, which is they put a bicycle road where they took one lane from cars and now only bicycles can go there. At the time when, until recently, until last year, when bikes shared the road with pedestrian, it was not the best. Like, right, Ricky Tiki Tuck? Okay, I see a hole through which we can see Brooklyn Bridge. Ta-da! And downtown Manhattan. How do you like that? How many miles? I think it's pretty short. How do you like it? Gorgeous view, but to make it even more beautiful, you need to remove the grid. Ask and you shall receive. On the way back, we can actually take a ferry to Manhattan. There's another hole. Let's look through this. Nice view. I agree, Ruben. And thank you to everyone who doesn't just watch, but also comments on what you guys see. Any kind of feedback is very pleasant to me. Thank you for that. And I want to remind you one more time that probably, most likely, unless there will be something super duper interesting and which I will be passing, I will probably stream next time if connection allows me and if weather is good and if there is something to show, not only from outside of New York, but also outside of the United States of America. So in order to follow me, in order not to miss that stream, you know what to do, right? It's simple, only 3 steps. Subscribe, put a bell, and join when you get a notification. agree with you, Anton. Now the hole in the fence is perfect for looking out over the Brooklyn Bridge. Yes. And now to the best view. Did you see it before? Видел раньше? Did you see it? And there is a ferry, a small ferry. You can actually see somewhat of Statue of Liberty from here. And a small ferry that goes to which island where we recently were? Who will remember? An island which was abandoned. Do you remember the name of it? It's right there behind Brooklyn Bridge. There is a good rule. If you subscribed yourself, suggest to your friend to subscribe. I agree with you, Anton. Very good rule. So let's go quicker. We have been, I have been with you for 55 minutes. I think 30 more minutes, and I will go back to Manhattan. Maybe by train, maybe by ferry, depending whatever comes. If the ferry, I have to wait for the ferry for a long time. But I will show you view from Dumbo to Manhattan. The best time to visit this place is when the sun goes down, because you have beautiful view to Manhattan downtown during sunset, and the sky is beautiful. Then lights appear on bridges and buildings. But now it's also good to see it's completely different. At least we can see it in all details. I'm surprised there haven't been many holes for a while. But okay, maybe the view is not the best from here. People know. And these holes are here not all the time, but so the city repairs holes, but people make new ones all the time. And guys, you're really happy because you are really lucky, because we were in Manhattan and now we will together get to Brooklyn. So 2 boroughs we're covering. So does anyone remember the name of the island, abandoned island, where we were just recently? There are a lot of rust on construction here, and each time I look at it, I'm questioning how safe it is. Can someone write something in comments, because I'm not sure if comments disappeared or if you guys are just watching in silence. Oh, Sergey, thank you. Hello Manhattan, hello New York, hello George Omar, and so on and so forth. This is not Brooklyn Bridge. This is Brooklyn Bridge, mister. The best view to Brooklyn Bridge is from this bridge, and we are walking to Brooklyn Bridge. Brooklyn Bridge next. No, don't say hi to Sergey. He's bad. Sergey is bad. He's against me. He doesn't like me. That's his revenge for me showing seafood to him. Voila. I know. I'm sure he did not miss it. He saw it. That's why he's trying to revenge me now. You are famous now. Happy people. Thank you, Jorge, right? That's how you pronounce your name, Jorge? This is called bullying, Sergey. This is called Sergey bad. Bad Sergey. When my dog does something bad, I said, bad Lily, bad. So Sergey bad. Sorry. No, you're not sorry. Tell the truth. Okay, where's... I think it's time for a new hole, but I don't see any, so I'll show you like that. Ta-da! There is a merry-go-round, if you can see, right next to Brooklyn Bridge. I hope we can make it there now, together. Hello, Roberto, says Sergey. He's pretending to be nice.
Yeah, I guess.
But we know better. And this is the bridge through which people try to take pictures of Empire State Building, especially when it's lit up at night, but not only at night. There are many helicopters. They go lower on the level of Brooklyn Bridge. Helicopters actually go lower on the level of main sites, wherever they can, such as Statue of Liberty, which is also not far from here, Brooklyn Bridge, Manhattan Bridge, and Freedom Tower. Okay, so there is a small hole. Oh, and actually the helicopter is going lower, if you can see it. And the lowest it flies, that's over the Statue of Liberty. There was a window to go to the Statue of Liberty, to the Crown this Wednesday, but it was at 9 a.m. and I have to be somewhere at 9 a.m. So unfortunately, I have to wait until next window appears. I love you live streaming also. Will I be streaming from Russia? I will. I agree with you, Roberto. Зачем тут кричать? Helicopter? Sergey is not bad. Sergey is a good boy. There are many good streamers in Russia. I don't know if they stream in English, but when I go to Russia, I will. But this time I'm not going to Russia. This time I'm going... Well, where do you think I will go? Actually, at the end of this week already. Where do you think? If you guess it right, I will confirm. Or if you don't, then decline. I'm afraid to jump in water from such height, so I won't, Texas. I'm so scared, like I don't think I would ever be able to jump from so high, unless there is an emergency. I'm afraid to even jump from like 2 times my height. Even though I'm short, as Sergey says all the time. Go to Florida. I was in Florida not long ago. I went there like a few months ago. Why don't you go to Florida? Spring break there. That means it's very expensive. I went there once during spring break a few years ago, and hotels were like so expensive. So expensive. Most of them were either sold out or like price like a 3-star hotel would be price of a 5-star hotel. So it's actually better to do everything on anti-phase. Whenever everyone goes there, go from it. Another hole. Sergey, look at this view. Do you like this view, Sergey? Brooklyn Bridge. Where else can you have a better look at Brooklyn Bridge from this level of height? Unless you're in a helicopter, of course. I don't give photographs, neither you are photographed. I cannot, Natalia, I have to be with my mother, she's 96. Got you. Maybe one day, Roberto. Maybe one day. When the wind is not blowing and the sun is shining, it's perfect weather. So whoever lives in Brooklyn, whoever likes Brooklyn, hello to you. And we continue, and yes, Anton was right, as he always is. We are walking to the end of that bridge, and it does seem not to be more than 650 meters. It's pretty short walk. maybe kilometer. A beautiful view, you can admire it, especially at sunset and without the sounds of subway. Oh yes, well, sounds of subway, they will be not as frequent because trains don't go as often at sunset, I'd say. Well, they usually don't go as often. It's only because there are several lines here, that's why it seems like trains are actually running. But it's wrong. You like this view. I like that you like this view. Too many graffiti. I like graffiti. I don't like when they are on like buildings with historic meaning, but rather than this, I like your car.
Thank you.
But like old buildings, you know, but like here it's actually not as boring with graffiti. Crap, we have to go all the way there. Why there are like no stairs here? Ugh. Now we have to waste like 3 minutes to go all the way to. Why couldn't they just build stairs here? Shortcut. So to get to Brooklyn Bridge, you have to take this road, like behind this road, and then like the one that is behind. So it's like take a loop, and there is usually a lot of traffic before Brooklyn Bridge because it's only like one narrow lane, maybe two. Let me see. No, it goes it narrows down to one lane, and imagine like the majority, like there are so many cars that want to get to Manhattan, and there are not many ways to get to Manhattan from Brooklyn. And one of them is Brooklyn Bridge. 1 second. Hour, even on weekends. Like I never went here during the day, but I mean weekday, but on weekend when I rented a car and I had to go back from somewhere, traffic was bad, so I tried to avoid Brooklyn Bridge as much as I can, even though it's really beautiful, but at the same time it's you can waste a lot of time there. Бом-би-бом. Последнее предупреждение вам, единственное. The bridge seems so long, but we crossed it fast. Natalia must be... No, actually we are still... Like, the disadvantage of bridges, Brooklyn Bridge, this bridge, Williamsburg Bridge, which is just to our left, is because you have to... Like, there is a part which is boring, but you have to walk on it. This bridge, Mark, is not Brooklyn Bridge, this is Manhattan Bridge, but I assume that the length of Brooklyn Bridge is approximately the same as this one. So just about a kilometer. But we are nearing the end of the bridge, and then we will see Brooklyn Bridge, the better, more interesting part of like now boring walk. Hello, Lily. Lily Abrego. Where are you? Where are you from, Lily? I think you wrote it maybe once before, but could you remind, please? Honking, honking, honking in New York. And we're in Brooklyn. Welcome to Brooklyn. Before you enter Brooklyn by car, you can see that There is a welcome sign to Brooklyn, and it says who the mayor of New York City is. You are from Panama Canal. Canal. Nice. Okay, let's see where we can cross now. So this is the bridge on which we were walking. It looks better from here. Not as rusty and falling apart, and not as shaky with the trains passing. Alright, let's see how we can go to the better part of this place. Faster. Wow, it's so warm there. Traffic light is on our side today. It's green light. I wonder how I can get there fast to the bridge. If I go straight or if I turn left here. Let's turn left. I hope luck is on my side. What time is it in New York now? Can you hear the wind? See, as soon as we cross to Brooklyn, it's not as crowded here. Panama is small Dubai, is it? I want to go to Siberia, really? Siberia is... surprisingly now it's warmer in Siberia than it is in New York. But weather in New York in March is very unpredictable. Okay, can we pass there? Let's try. Or, no, actually, let's go to Washington Street, my favorite street, with super nice view where many movies were filmed. Let's take this road and then left. Totally do it. I trust you 100%. Look at this bridge connecting two buildings. Etsy. I didn't know they have their office here. Etsy is like Avito. It's a place where you can sell your stuff. Okay, that's Adams Street. Where is that famous street? Where? I think we're not too far from it. The weather in Panama is cool but very hot, but soon comes the rain. Is it always like that, including in winter? Alright, so now we go right and we are almost by the nice street. Not as far. All on the bridges here is all covered in graffiti. Pretty cool. This is a love graffiti. Love is good. And where is the lady taking picture? What is here? Nothing really special. It says murals for the monument love. This is love. If this is love, okay. I think this person is also familiar to you. Let him, okay. So you know what to do if anything, right? I think I know who that is. But can you keep an eye on him if you have time, please? And if it misbehaves, you know what to do. There are elephants, a whole family of elephants. Look at that. Pretty. Graffiti is always changing here. Because of the rain and other weather conditions, they go bad, but they are pretty cool. More of elephants. And that's not Cobra, the artist. Love, yes. there are birdies here. I don't know if these are parrots. They look like oh gosh, no, what are they called? Puffins, somewhat. York Street. I think we are, yes, Washington Street is next. I am a genius today. Teleport to Africa. If only it was as warm as in Africa now. There are newer buildings in Dumbo. We are in a place called Dumbo in Brooklyn. I don't know why people love to listen to music so loudly. Okay, everything is loud in New York, not just music. Alright, and we will be turning to Washington Street now if there are no... Oh gosh. No, we can't cross. Patrick, hello. Maria, hello, hello, hello. So Washington Street, that's a very picturesque street, and tourists and locals, they really like it. Well, you'll see now why as we turn to it. There is a cobblestone road. There is a view to Empire State Building through the bridge, and it's between two beautiful bridges: Manhattan Bridge, on which we walk now, and Brooklyn Bridge. We will not walk back on Brooklyn Bridge now. We'll do it next time. But at least we saw Brooklyn Bridge from Manhattan Bridge today. Almost same weather in your city, Anton, as in New York. Okay, let's walk in the middle of this street so that you can start seeing its beauty. The sun is not here, but at least look, the bridge is squeezed between buildings. That's why people love to stand in the middle of that street, right by the traffic light, and take pictures. A little lower where we are compared to where we are, but it's still a nice view. It's a one-way street, so if the car moves towards us, I will move as well. Signal so good, I'm happy about that. Very happy. And I will have to zoom in here, so I'm sorry that the connection will jump, but I will show you what people love taking pictures of here. So this is what Empire State Building captured inside the bridge. So let me zoom out. And we continue our walk now to Brooklyn Bridge. What do you think about this view? People who live in New York, I guess all of you know this view, seen that view, and people who don't, at least might have seen it in some movie, right? People who live in this area in Dumbo are usually younger people. Dumbo is located next to another beautiful neighborhood of Brooklyn called Brooklyn Heights. Yes, classic view. Usually people stand in this place, in the intersection which we're approaching now, to take pictures. Ice cream truck, thank God not making any sounds. So this is the view. Again, we are on Washington Street, and see how many people are taking pictures. Capture this view with your eyes, and we continue to Brooklyn Bridge. Rick, if you are here, do you like that view? I'm sure you knew about it, right? Buildings which you see here, there used to be a railroad, light railroad, and they actually tried to renew it. They say that, well, during de Blasio time, the former mayor said that he wants to put again the light rail here, just like in New Jersey. If you saw one of my shorts, you know what I'm talking about. being done here, and these were warehouses, but they are now made as expensive stores and like interesting places. See, railroad used to be here and they wanted to put it back. Beautiful view. I agree, Patrick. A lot of tourists go here. Yes. Vista Historica. Yes. Yes. Some noise is following us. Yes. That is a nice view to Brooklyn Bridge from here as well. But let's warm up in the sun a little. The noise of subways following us is what Anton meant. But we will move away from it now. Sorry. It's better to walk here when it's light out. Because one day when I was actually streaming, I saw a rat here and it was not moving. I mean, it was not dead, it was just sick. And when you see it in the dark, it looks even more scary. Time to warm up. That's why we're going to the sun. Beautiful flowers, but again, too deceptive because it's still cold in New York. That's the view. And if you guys are ever in New York, if you want to see nice view to Manhattan skyline, the best is to come to this pier, or it's not even a pier, but stairs. You can come close to the ocean. That's where, close to where East River meets with Hudson River and falls into the ocean. And there's construction here, unfortunately, now, but I don't think it will last long. But this view is the best, don't you agree? And it smells like ocean, like seaweed, ocean, located between two bridges, Manhattan Bridge on the right and Brooklyn Bridge on the left. And you can even touch water here. So if you want to get a hint of the ocean, come here. If you ask me if water is salty here, even though it's East River, its proximity to the ocean, to the Atlantic Ocean, makes the water somewhat salty. So yes, water here is salty, but it's not the salty river, it's because it's right next to the ocean. If you want to see a nice view to Brooklyn Bridge from not Manhattan Bridge, but somewhere closer, you have to go up at the end of this building. I'll show you where. Construction. Why is there construction everywhere in New York? I wonder if there will ever be time with no scaffoldings. Why when they build buildings in Europe, they stand there for centuries? While when they build buildings in the United States, it's not the case. I was reading yesterday that to get an apartment, to rent an apartment in New York, you have to earn 40 times more than the price of the apartment that you rent. So, per year, right? So with that said, if a person needs to, and there's only like 1% of apartments in the whole New York City that costs less than $1,500. So most apartments are above $2,000, even in like faraway neighborhoods. Only 1% of apartments are below or like at $1,500 or $1,500, as they would say in America. So people who earn $100,000 before taxes, which is approximately 65,000 after taxes, they can rent an apartment for $2,500. It's impossible, almost impossible, to find an apartment at least bigger than the size of a wardrobe in Manhattan for that price. So apartments start in Manhattan at 25 plus. usually 27 plus, 28 plus. Crazy. So it's almost impossible, and the market is, so in order, or you need to have a person who will guarantee that you will be responsible for payments, and it's so difficult. It's almost impossible to rent here. Cleo, hello. So I'll show you the beautiful view to Brooklyn Bridge from here. Again, tourists, they don't usually go to this place unless they just are looking for a toilet and randomly they're like, oh, what is there? I want to see it. Well, let's see what is there and what they come to see. Expensive, yes. Very expensive. Unreasonably expensive. Well, we can see it from here first, and then we go one floor up. One. And finally. And then I will have to go because my lunch break is over. And you guys have a chance to subscribe to my channel and to put a bell sign, because next stream, which I don't know whether I will be saving or not, will be from a different country, most likely. Here is the view. Beautiful view to downtown Manhattan, to Brooklyn Bridge on the left, and to Manhattan Bridge, and behind it Williamsburg Bridge on the right. I hope you enjoyed today's stream. If you did, before I finish it, you can put thumbs up, you can like this video, or if you are watching replay, you can do so also. I will see you next time. Thank you for being here. Bye bye.